Hello, this is David Benheim from Excel Consulting, and in this video I'm going to show you what's new for Office Insiders in October 2019. I got really excited this week when I figured out there were a couple of new things that I spotted, and I just want to share those with you guys and other things that I've spotted along the way as well. So this is not an exhaustive list, but we will be running through the four main apps and I'll show you all the cool stuff that I've learned that is new. Again, it might not be brand new, it's just that I kind of started noticing it recently. Let's kick off with Outlook, so new search. So if I go to Outlook here, I'm in a folder. When I first noticed this, I thought there was a bug in Outlook because the search bar has disappeared. The search bar is basically where I live in Outlook. And I thought it was a bug when I first opened it and couldn't see it. But what Microsoft have actually done is they've integrated it with this search bar up here. So this used to be mainly to search for contacts and commands, but now it's where your email search is as well. So if I go into there and I search for Kai like that, it gives me this did you mean? This is a fairly new feature, but as long as I do that, it gives them to me there and it sorts them from newest to oldest as per usual. You've also got additional functionality, which is great though. Here you have recent searches and you can also do other actions. Like if I go to new task, it will give me new task and I can open it there. But in terms of searching emails, you have this drop down. You can change the place where you're searching, current folder to current mailbox. By default, inbox is current mailbox. Others are folders. But what I really love is this attachment contains. Let's say you're not sure who you sent this to in the company, what date you sent it, or what the subject was. You just know for sure that it has an Excel file. You can type XLSX, search, and now you just get a list of all the times where you have an Excel file. You can do that, and you can say Excel from Kai, this person, search. There you go. Then it does both of those criteria together. So I really love this. In fact, particularly the attachment contains is one that I advocate. I use this almost every day. PDFs, Word docs, PowerPoint files. I also use from and to. I don't really use the others as much, but I think this is really great. All right, so let's go into Excel, a few different things. Workbook Statistics, Power Query column profiling, and dynamic arrays and options. So I just noticed it this morning. Actually, I decided to record this video, and then when I looked through all the things here, I noticed Workbook Statistics. This is brand new. I just picked it up this morning. If I click on it, I can see it says all this cool stuff. I find this really nice and useful, actually. So what's in the current sheet? What cell the end of the sheet is, how many cells with data, tables, formulas, how many sheets there are, how many cells with data, tables, pivot tables, formulas here, macros and charts. I note that macros include what's in my personal macro workbook as well, but that is pretty awesome actually. And as you go to different sheets, it will give you the things about those. One thing to point out is if you accidentally do this, so let's say you're really far and you are making a format change. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to make this yellow or whatever color it is. Then I'm just going to make it white again, no fill. So if I go to this tab again, it will tell me that the end of the sheet is still this cell, CG1927, even though there's nothing in there and all I did was make one format change. This is something that is a bit of a nuance, but it's really good to know because if this is not the cell you expect, then that could make your Excel file very large. So if I find a large Excel file, I will normally try and look for the end of the sheet. And I used to do it manually, but with this it's much easier. So if it is there, it's not that easy to get rid of it, but at least you know it's there so you can start fixing the problem. All right, Very small one, but dynamic arrays, like the filter function, are a huge improvement to Excel, and they are for now only in Insiders. But I did notice they are getting a little bit closer to release date. If I go to Options and Formulas, I can see here, there is this thing that says Suggest Formula Variations supported by old versions of Excel. And this is referring to dynamic arrays. So I guess this is getting us closer to the release date of those, which is really, really great. All right. Big thing in Excel's Power Query. So if you are using the query editor, which we are here, so let me show my queries and connections pane. So you launch the Power Query editor, and what you have here is some new viewing options. So initially off the back, you'll be able to see this green line. If there are any errors, you'll see not the blue line, but you'll see it as red. And if there's any blanks, you'll see it as gray. So let me find one that has that. Yeah. Here we go. So gray means it's null. And if I just change this, say, to numbers, we're just going to see those become errors so we can see them as red. Yeah, there we go. So this it's not sure, this is red. Those are the three different types. Immediately you can navigate towards it and it gives you some options like remove errors for that, or some extra ones here. These are normally accessible by the UI, but if you want, you can get them there. Here you can remove empty immediately like that. So in the View tab, you have other options as well. Column quality, I don't really see the point of this because it's already showing you in the bar, so I never really use this. But you do have column distribution. So doesn't work so well with errors, but it will give us a chart and column profile. Let me delete this step so we can sort of see what it's showing us. There we go. So it's just how many different things there are. It's kind of a bar chart of your data, really. In this case, there's a lot of, they're mostly the same, they're mostly duplicates. But in this case, where they are pretty much the same, you just get the ones there. And if you want to know what the distribution is, if you click on this, it will show you, this is the second one we ticked, called column profile. It will show you how it's made up like that. So let's look at some other ones here. Here we go. This is a bit of a mixture, and it shows you the value distribution. Again, you can right-click to shortcut to certain steps. This just got released with the new Power BI, so it's also here. You can copy the column metrics or copy the value distribution. So if I click on there, and let me just go to a blank PowerPoint, I can paste it and I just get that distribution. And if I copy quality metrics, probably works better in an Excel file, but yeah, it just gives us that in a table. Perfect. All right, so that's it for the Excel stuff. Let's move on. That's my Morph animation. God, I love the Morph feature. PowerPoint and Word. So PowerPoint, two small things, new icons and add content placeholders, and you can now search in icons. And Word, you have rewrite and follow-up. So let me go to PowerPoint over here. So if I add a new slide, we used to have just 6 things here. Now we have 8. This is 3D models. It will look them up on the online 3D model sharing space. And this is icons. So it's the same as going to the Insert tab and getting them. It's just these used to have 6 and now they have 8. I do love icons and think every PowerPoint user should be using them. The other thing is there's a search bar now, which is fantastic. So if I want to search for a tiger, I can. If I want to search for seeing, like that. So what you can see, you can multi-select as per usual, insert, and get those icons there. And then PowerPoint's design ideas will pre-suggest things that you can do with them. This is fairly new, but you can replace it directly by clicking there, and it will search for similar ones. Great. So that's a very whistle-stop tour of PowerPoint. And finally, a very quick one with Word as well. We're going to look at rewrite and follow-up. So in Word, over here, let's say you have some document that you're writing. This is about Star Wars. So you can select some text, right-click, and choose Rewrite. And it will give you, allows himself to be, maybe lets himself be, lets himself, or lets. This one doesn't quite work. Yeah, you have some more suggestions for accessibility there as well. Doesn't always work. Obviously, depends how specific you get. Rewrite. So it doesn't work, try using a shorter phrase. So some have drawn similarities. Let's see what that gives us. None there. Similarities between the. So it can also sort of find things if you just select one bit and get suggestions. So that it will then click on the events in, which is quite cool. I quite like this feature, particularly if you write a lot. Another one which I quite like, it's pretty simple, but writing placeholders. So we used to say needs to understand what. Then I would write something like XXX to make sure we should follow up. But now, if you do that, it will prompt you with this follow-up preview. So here, I'm getting this. Add a placeholder for your content that you'll add. You can also get someone else's intention by typing @ and selecting a name. They will be notified. So I'm going to say here, client name. And then it's just sort of a way to fix what people used to do with highlighting or with XXX or something like that. So also, as it says, I can write @ and then if I were to write the name of one of my coworkers, it would pop up. There's not much to this. It kind of pops up there, but only when people also have Office Insiders, as it says it's still a preview. If you right-click, you can mark it as complete, and then it just goes back to the normal one there. As far as I can tell, that's the only thing that it does. It also pops up directly when you type @ there. And yeah, so add a description, press tab when you're done. All right, so that's it for this video. We've covered Outlook's new search, love that. Excel's Workbook Statistics, simple, but enjoy it. Power Query's column profile, a big feature that's been in Power BI for a while. Small thing to show dynamic arrays are coming soon for everyone. PowerPoint, 2 small things, but I do really like the search and icons. And then Word, we had rewrite and follow up. Again, some of these might not be brand new, but stuff that I noticed recently that I want to share. All right, thanks for watching, guys.